front of the
Artie,
forge.
this is New World. So New World is Amazon's upcoming MMORPG. It's really cool because it's kind of like ESO meets Rust, meets Guild Wars 2. Here's kind of how it works. So we're on an island. It's a mysterious island. We are essentially Spanish conquistadors. Our ship crashed on the island, or we were heading there. I don't know exactly how we got there. There's an intro. I'm not going to spoil it for you. There's video and everything. You'll find out if and when you choose to play, or when. Obviously, I'm not assuming you're going to play.
Okay, come over here.
If you do, though, you know. Okay, so here's how it works. It's actually really cool. So there is no like loading screen unless you fast travel. Everything is all within one thingamabobber. When we got here, all of it was white and unclaimed territory. Each of these are their own individual territory. There are 3 factions. There is purple, which is what we are. They are Syndicate, is what they're called. Green is Marauders, and yellow is Covenant. And each faction has its own interest, its own kind of way of going about things in exploiting the land. Except for Covenant, which also wants to protect the resources of the land, meaning Azoth, which is this mysterious resource. It's neither good nor bad, but it can be used for either, and it can also corrupt. It is a power, it is a source of magic, and it is also a source of might. It's very interesting. Now, the way that it works is you have these factions, and then inside the factions, you can create companies. So once you declare for a faction, you can join a company. Companies are able to hold a settlement. So for example, if I go over here to Windsword, we have Windsword is governed by the flagship, which is a company, and controlled by Syndicate, the faction. You also have standings in a territory. As you spend time in that territory, as you level up your standing, you get different perks, kind of like in Fallout, how you get perk cards. Those perks can be increases in percentage to your experience gain, to harvesting times, increase in gaining territory points to get more territory standing, a whole bunch of different things that you can get that way, which is pretty cool. Now, this is important because the whole game is a struggle for the territory. Everyone wants to possess the land of Aeternum. So how this works is once you have a faction and a company controlling and governing a territory, by the way, if you are the governing company, you can set tax rates. And it could be high, it could be low, but your company gets all the gold, which means you can use it to very much help out your company if you're able to take, hold, keep, defend. Let's get to that in a second. Now, once you've got a place, you're going to see underneath it has these 2 bars. These are the other factions. They are going to fight you through PvP, which is in the same areas as PvE, for control. So how this works is, if you look in Everfall right here, we are about 65% of the way to challenging Bad Company and the Marauders. When we are able to do that, we declare a war. A war is a 50v50 struggle event with 3 cap points. You have 30 minutes in which to either take all 3 points or defend all 3 points, and whichever group wins, whichever one succeeds, is the one that comes out on the other side with the territory. There's a lot that kind of goes into it. There's strategy, there's gearing, there's resources, there's using resources in the middle of the battle wisely. A lot of different stuff. It's really cool. So that's that. Now, one of the things is that 50v50, even though that's the size of a company, actually anybody in the entire faction can sign up and be selected, but the company that is actually doing the fighting is the one that picks who's going to be in the war. So it's not random, it is selected. There is actual organization taking place, but it's nice because if you have a smaller company that manages to declare the war, that's totally okay, because you're going to hopefully be able to pull the numbers that you need to win the war from the rest of your faction teammates across the map. It's very, very, very fun. Now, throughout the entire land, there are a lot of monsters, a lot of beasts. Some are, I'm not going to go with friendly, but some of them are just what they are. Some of them are directly antagonistic, and some of them are corrupted. Just like people, there is some corruption that can take place by Azoth, and there's mystery. I haven't been up here yet. I hope I get to during the preview event, which goes through September 4th. Now, for the preview event, this is actually, I think they have about 500 people in a server right now. This is 20% of the final map, at least as it stands right now. The game actually only releases in spring 2021. So that could change. It may grow. We don't know. The nice thing is that, you know, based off of the feedback, it could. It very well could. All right, so moving forward. With the preview, anybody who pre-orders the game through Steam, technically it's everybody can get an invite to this preview event, which is pre-closed beta. It is post-alpha. So just so you know, we are actually really early in the dev cycle. There will be bugs, there will be flaws. When you play, at the end of the day, when you go out of the game menu and exit, you will usually be given and asked for a poll to give that feedback to the devs. I understand that they do listen to feedback, so please, if you participate, make sure you give your feedback to them. Especially over time, the more sessions that you do, that's going to be really helpful in shaping kind of how the game actually releases. And I do understand that there's been a lot of change. When I first was learning about it, there was going to be a lot more like survival sandbox, and a little less of the kind of supernatural Azoth. And so things have changed based off of feedback. So your feedback really is valuable. It is important, and it does make a difference. So thank you, Quaganado. I will make sure to take care of that. Yeah.
What are we up to now?
Right, exactly, Morel. Exactly. Now, if you do want to pre-order and get part of the preview event, the way to do that is to
I was just gonna chop some trees down here for myself and
pre-order on Steam. Now, you might be able to snag a preview code that doesn't give you the game, just access to the preview from New World, who has been giving out some of them very, very kindly, and they probably will continue to do that. Just as a heads up, if you pre-order through Steam, you will automatically get access to the preview